Hey everybody, it's Luke here. Glad to be back on video. It's been a little while since I put something out, so here I am again trying to get some new habits down and get back to my old ways of making videos where I ramble on about stuff. So this blog post today then is about 2 simple strategies to help you achieve your goals. And I'll put a little timestamp on the video here. So it's December 30th of 2016 right now. So it seemed appropriate to me to kind of give some advice on, you're going into the new year potentially and want to achieve a few things. What are some simple tactics that'll help you along your way? And these tactics go really well for basically any type of goal setting where you've decided on a goal that's important to you and now you're kind of working backwards and you're developing the plan. And the next step, of course, is that's all fun and exciting, but now the hard work starts and you've got to create some parameters for you to achieve your goal. So kind of set yourself up for success as opposed to saying, well, I've got this goal that I really want to achieve and I've created a plan, but it's not realistic and there's no way I can do it and it's going to be too much hard work. So I hope these tips help you out. And I'll give you some examples as we go too. So the first strategy is pretty well known, and that one is, and maybe you've run across it, maybe you haven't, but it's an old one, and it's basically to tell someone about your goal or your goals. And so say, we'll use the weight loss analogy, or you just want to get fit this year, but say you want to lose 30 pounds, and you're not too specific on the time period, but you want to lose 30 pounds this year, and you've decided as part of your plan that includes eating better and exercising, stuff like that. And so you make a specific plan, which is actually a good tip too. You make your plan as specific and detailed as possible so that you feel like you're going to achieve your goal. And your plan is to work out 3 days a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, you're going to work out. So that's great. You feel like if you stick to this, you're going to have a good chance of achieving your goal. So the strategy then is, so tell someone about it. Tell your spouse, tell your best friend, tell someone who can maybe help you stay accountable. And that's the real secret behind this tip, is that just by telling someone, you're going to make yourself more accountable because you know in your mind that you told someone and that they're kind of expecting you to do it now too. So it's kind of a nice little trick. The other thing is, if you've got a supportive friend or a supportive spouse, they're going to help you kind of stay on track and say, maybe they can encourage you along the way, or again, help you stay accountable by saying, hey, it's Friday morning, aren't you supposed to be at the gym, type of a thing. And then the natural progression to this one, and which I think makes it even more effective, is that if you share your goal with someone, verbally with your spouse or a friend, and then they decide that they have the same goal as you and you guys can do it together, then that's even better. And again, I think the gym is an easy analogy for this one because, how much more likely are you to actually stick to your plan of going to the gym 3 times a week if you have a workout buddy and they have the same plan as you? You're trying to, you're not just doing this because you want to work out. You have a goal in mind. You've linked it to a goal. How much more accountable are you now to say, a Wednesday morning rolls around and you've been going to the gym at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and you don't feel like going today? You say, well, okay, but I've got someone meeting me there and, we agreed to work this plan. And then the other thing is you can help them stay motivated as well. So if they say, gosh, I don't really want to work out, it's Friday, let's start the weekend early. It's like, yeah, but we agreed on this, so you can help motivate them too and say, okay, we're doing this for a reason. If we stick to our plan, we feel like we're going to have the goal we want, the outcome we want to achieve. So it's a nice tip, again, just telling someone, and then again, the progression is if you can get them to join you, or even if you can bring them in at ground level and you guys can agree to the goal together and then agree to the plan together, that's even probably more preferable. Okay, so that's the first tip. The second tip is, it's interesting. It's one I just read about in a book. I didn't read it. I heard it on an audiobook. That's how I digest most of my books these days, drive around in my car for 8 minutes at a time. So anyways, but this one is they call it, I'm going to quote here, if, when, then. And so that's the tactic, if, when, then. And so a good example of this is, actually let me backtrack. If, when, then is basically like you're projecting yourself out into the future and you're seeing, okay, well, when these certain circumstances come up where maybe I'll be more likely to falter with my plan or, fall off the wagon or whatever, then here's what I'm going to do. Here's my strategy. And this works a lot better, I think, because instead of just being potentially blindsided by these occasions where you were trying not to do this, and then the situation came up, and now your impulse says, "Oh, we'll go ahead and do it anyways." You can think about this in advance, and you can decide how you want to handle the situation. And to me, the easiest example of that is like food. So say part of your, again, let's stick with the person who's trying to lose weight. You're going to exercise, and then you're going to eat a little better too. And you have certain guidelines that say, well, I'm not going to eat dessert anymore, or I'm only going to eat dessert once a week or twice a week, whatever you decide. So you say, well, this Friday, tomorrow, I'm going out to dinner with my spouse, and I don't want to eat the dessert. It's great. It's not my day to eat dessert. When I do eat a dessert, it's something healthier that I create at home, like fruit or something like that. And I'm not going to go for the chocolate cake or the burnt cream. So you can now decide in advance how you're going to handle the solution. So if you go with the if, when, then, if you say, when the waiter asks me what I'd like for dessert, then I will say no dessert, or then I will say, please bring me a cup of mint tea or herbal tea or whatever you want. So that one I think is really powerful, and I haven't heard of it before, because basically you're trying to identify these potential barriers or obstacles or things that can knock you off course, and you're doing it ahead of time so that when you get there, it's not a big deal. You've already decided how you're going to handle it, as opposed to potentially being an emotional experience where you're you're a little more resentful. They offered you the chocolate cake and you really wanted it. And maybe you said no, but you don't feel that good about it, or maybe you said yes and you really don't feel good about it because you ate the chocolate cake. So to me, that's a really powerful one, and again, one I hadn't come across, so I thought I would share that with you all. So hopefully between those two tips, it'll help out achieving your goals, and just have a good year. And this stuff, of course, is applicable all year round. But again, kind of getting on topic here, since it's New Year's and people are kind of have that momentum going. Okay, it's a new year. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. So one more fair word of advice is pick a goal that's reasonable. Again, if you've tried the same goal 18 times and you always fail, that's very stressful. And if you pick a goal that you can't achieve, it's more negative in the long run too, because you feel like you failed. So set the bar at a reasonable level. Don't set it too low, but don't set it too high either. And hopefully that brings you some success with your goal setting endeavors. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video and the blog post. And as usual, if you have comments, please email me or leave them below the video. And I'm always open for suggestions or requests, so keep that in mind. And thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.